I'm so excited for you all to practice with Denise, who is a friend of mine and one of my teachers. She's offering up a 7-day Yin and Chakra series. We're going to put 3 of the classes here for free on YouTube, and the other ones in the whole series will live on CCY Studio. If you'd like to check out my membership and all the other goodies over there. Denise is also going to be teaching on our 300-hour mindfulness school training. She'll be teaching Yin and meridians. If you want an hour-long class with her, she's also offered that up. Click the link in the description and we'll send that over to you. Enjoy this class.
Welcome to this Yin class that is designed to support and nourish your first chakra. We're going to start in Shavasana and we'll talk about first chakra as we move through the sequence, okay? So let's go ahead and begin lying on the back. Shavasana, I like to bring my shoulder blades close together. Gives me a little bit of support. Take the feet wide and take the arms wide. Let the palms face up. Take a deep inhale through the nose. And just feel the body sinking a little bit deeper into the mat, into the floor beneath the mat, into the ground beneath the floor. First chakra is Muladhara, root support. So as we move through the sequence, we're going to move slowly, feeling that weight and gravity of earth, that external force that keeps us grounded, keeps us here. So we want to slow down, get heavy, and move slow. One more deep exhale here. Just feel the weight of the body where it meets the floor. And begin to bring the knees to the chest. Give them a squeeze here. You can rock side to side. And then go ahead and rock up and down the spine a few times. Hold on to the backs of the legs. And then go ahead and roll on up and make your way into a squat. So I've got my toes out slightly. My feet are maybe a little bit wider than hip width apart. So if your butt is way up here, you can always sit on a block. That's still a squat. If your heels aren't quite touching the floor, then you can always tuck a block. I have these half blocks here that I use a lot. Tuck blocks under the heels so that you're not trying to balance on the toes. We want to sink down in. So you want to make sure that the whole foot can feel something. Muladhara is the origin of this chakra is right at the base of the spine. And this is the same slow frequency of earth. This is the same slow frequency or resonant frequency of this chakra. It governs the legs, the bones. It's all about survival, food, shelter, money. So this practice helps to nourish the origin of this chakra. And just by talking about it, kind of visualizing this red color at the base of the spine, just by talking about it and visualizing it, instantly Muladhara is paying attention and already feeling more supported just by talking about Muladhara and considering it, and just getting into this pose is going to help to nourish it. Chakras are very receptive. Doesn't take much. They do like to feel heard and trusted. So now we're going to come into this standing forward fold called dangle. My feet are still a little bit wider than hip width apart. You can bring them in if this is better for you to take them wider. That's up to you. Bend the knees as much as you need to here. This isn't about stretching. We want to feel heavy. You can use a block if this is better. Just whatever gives you the most support. We're going to be here for about maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Yin is great because it's just such a slow moving practice that it gives you time to become more curious about the body's ability to move just by slowing down, noticing how the body moves as you breathe, particularly when you're in positions other than just walking or sitting in a chair. So relax the neck. I'll use my timer throughout this class just to make sure I stay on track. We'll stay here for 1 more minute. See how heavy you can feel. Imagine leaving an imprint in the floor beneath the mat of your feet. You can straighten the legs, that's totally fine, but if all you're doing then is stretching the hamstrings and it takes you out of the curiosity of Muladhara, then just bend the knees a little bit. And breathe. If you're close to the thighs, then notice how you can push that belly into the thighs, or if you're a little bit further away, push that air into the low part of the ribs and let the ribs move out to the sides as you inhale. Take 3 more deep breaths here. Get heavier with each breath. Nice release along the spine, hanging upside down. And turn the toes out again. We're going to sink back down into that squat here. If you can, walk the hands away from you, turn around the back. We're getting way down into the low back, into the hips here, and just, again, just sinking. Compressed position, deep breaths. Soft, deep breaths. And then go ahead and have a seat and straighten the legs. So we're going to come into this pose called caterpillar. It's the same as dangle. We're just sitting on the floor now. So same thing. If you needed to bend the knees when you were in that standing position, do that. It's always nice to support the knees so that you can hang out here for a while. You can use blocks or a cushion or a bolster, or just hang out here. Let the back round. Come as far forward as you can. Let that back round and let the head hang. And if you feel tight or limited or just kind of going through your checklist of how you used to be able to do this, or how you wish you could do it, or you want to be deeper in it, just let all of that go. Let all of that go and notice how the floor is supporting you. And wherever you're holding, whether that's physically or maybe emotionally or spiritually, just let that holding go. Trust that the floor will hold you. Slow and heavy. Breathing softly, consciously. Let's take a deep inhale here together. Feels good to slow down. One more deep inhale here. Use the hands to support the torso as you walk it back up to vertical. And then help the knees to move. Pick one knee up and then the other. The legs are heavy. You're good and grounded. Give those knees a little squeeze right now. And then straighten the legs, bounce the knees a little bit, rock them side to side. A lot of these poses that we do will also build up that charge in that particular chakra that we're focusing on. So just by bouncing, rocking side to side, you can help to discharge that buildup of that energy that we're creating. All right, we are going to come into this toe and ankle sequence. So go ahead and sit on the heels. Now you want to make sure that your toes are in line. So reach in between the thighs and get those big toes in line. If they tend to go out like this in their own adventure, pull them back in line before you put this kind of weight on it. All right. So we're going to stay here for 1 minute. And this, getting that suppleness back into the feet is something Muladhara loves. First chakra loves this. I mean, this is really where we meet earth as we're walking. So any of those sayings that you've heard, like if you ever have cold feet, or if you're dragging your feet or digging your heels in, those are all pretty indicative of the condition of first chakra, as well as the relationship to the chakras above it as well. So each chakra is its own entity, but also works with the ones above and below. So even if this doesn't feel good, this helps to open up the feet, open up the metatarsals, gets a little bit of that suppleness back into the fascia on the bottom of the feet. There's a saying in traditional Chinese medicine that we die physically from the feet up, and that's simply because when we lose that suppleness in the feet and then we're walking and we change our gait because our feet aren't moving the way they used to, maybe, and we change our gait, that tightness or that rigidity starts to work its way up through the legs, into the hips, up through the body, and all the way up into how you see things. It moves all the way up into your belief systems. So let's go ahead and come onto the tops of the feet, and then maybe lift the knees. So this might be plenty for you. You can always tuck a block under the knees or lift those knees on your own. Okay, we're going to stay here for about a minute. Good deep ankle stretch here. Your feet are like pumps as you walk, pumping out all those toxins. Even if you're limited in any of these things, just love the fact that you're in it right now. It doesn't matter if your ankles are super flexible. Even in the most limited range of motion, there are infinite possibilities. If you don't normally sit like this on your feet or having your toes tucked, then you're doing it now. And your feet are happy. And first chakra is paying attention. Let's take 3 more breaths here. All right. So you can just swing those legs around to the front. You feel that, I feel that in my knees. So go ahead and bounce the knees a little bit. Rock the legs side to side. Let's do some deep ankle rolls, one direction and then the other here. Crunch your toes a little bit. Should feel pretty good. And then nice and slow, we're going to move right back into Shavasana. So really slow it down. One vertebra at a time. Maybe tuck those shoulder blades together. Relax the jaw. Let the tongue drop from the roof of the mouth. On the next exhale, sink deeper. And see yourself sinking down into that cool, ancient earth beneath you. Feel safe and supported. Begin to notice that deep knowing within you. That knowing that you have the right to be here. Go ahead and start to move fingers and toes. Circle the ankles and wrists. Roll the arms and legs in and out. And turn the head to one side and then the other. Just checking it out. Big stretch up overhead. Hug the knees to the chest. Roll on over to your left side. Make your way up to a seated position. Bring your hands together at your heart center in Anjali Mudra, where we connect our everyday self with our infinite self. Sealing the deal. I hope you feel grounded and safe. Thank you for joining me.